This is Mike, keeping it simple and precise. The best way to spot an abusive woman, either you learn from someone else's experience or you have your own experience. There's one or two ways, in my humble opinion, on how to spot a dysfunctional woman, abusive woman, a woman who likes to play psychological games, or a woman who's just straight out will slap the shit out of you. The best women that love to have sex and love to do all kind of stuff is usually the dysfunctional woman, the woman who has daddy issues, the woman who has a short temper. A lot of times, those, from my experience, are one of the best sexual partners to have. And there's a difference between a sexual partner and a complete partner, right? Who's good in bed, but who is also a good woman, who is morally sound, spiritually sound, and even tempered. Those are few and far in between. Those kind of women are very hard to find. I'm just going to be frank with you guys. But so the only way to really figure out a woman is you have to observe and you have to listen. A lot of times, a woman will tell you who she is if you listen and not let your member downstairs lead the way, but let your mind, your intellect, your heart, intuition, and some of this stuff is very easy to spot. If a woman is slowly but surely in a conversation insulting you, whether it be indirectly or directly, or constantly playing but at the same time insulting you, that can lead into obviously verbal abuse and also lead into physical abuse. In other words, you have to be able to be mature enough to see it. When I was younger, in my younger years, I don't know about you guys, but I was busy looking at that hourglass shaped body, looking at her femininity and loving it, enjoying it, but not being able to go past her physical beauty and find out who she truly is. I saw it, I saw the red flags, but I didn't have the wherewithal to know where do I put that and how should I look at this woman. And then sometimes we can operate through scarcity. Well, this is, you know, this is my first girlfriend, or this is the first woman that has actually taken to me. In other words, accepted me for who I am and for what I am. And sometimes we get afraid to, recognize, wait, hold on, there's a problem here. Something ain't right about this woman. And really, it's a reflection of you. So, whatever, so let's say you like this particular woman, she catches your eye, and you go further with it beyond just talking to each other. You guys end up being boyfriend and girlfriend, and she's dysfunctional. She's abusive, she's verbally abusive, but you still stay with her. That's a reflection of the way you feel about yourself, especially men that have experienced abuse, whether it be through their mother, their father. Um, Sometimes we tend to accept abuse from our parents. I'm talking about physical abuse, like getting your ass whooped, like a beat down, not a whipping, a beat down, or a paddle, and you're bleeding from your ass, right? Or pus is coming out of your coming from your butt cheeks because your mother or your father beat your ass really bad, right? Stuff like that. If you don't get therapy or counseling, and then you eventually become an adult and you move out of your parents' house, develop a relationship with the opposite sex. If you looked at the relationship you have with your parents when they were abusing you as love, and you're taught that, hey, I love you, and this is why I'm whooping your or beating your ass, and this is why I'm abusing you the way I'm abusing you is because I love you, well, then you're going to equate that kind of relationship with all other relationships, even the opposite sex. So you'll attract a woman who looks and acts like your parents, so to speak. And then you'll equate that with love. So if they're constantly, if the woman is constantly insulting you and hits you every now and then, you'll look at that as love because that's what you're used to. So it goes deep. It goes real deep. Um, in my experience, I had to learn and read psychology books, and I had to go through my own experience, you know, with the opposite sex. A lot of times, I found a woman that was like my mother. Subconsciously, I didn't know I was doing that till later, until I started researching, until I started doing the inner work. So, in order to really understand or spot an abusive woman, a unfortunately, you shouldn't have to go through this, but sometimes some of us do have to go through it. You have to experience it. Or B, you learn from somebody else's mistakes. To me, those are the two ways to learn. Okay, I put my hand on the stove. Ah, it's hot. I don't want to do that again. Almost burnt the hell out of my hand. Or you can learn from someone else putting their hand on the stove and go, oh, okay, yeah, I won't be doing that. But to be quite honest with you, unfortunately, most of us have to let me see how hot that is because that person could be acting or lying. Let me see. Oh, damn, this is hot. Sometimes we'll just lie to ourselves so that we can get what we want. Sometimes it's just to get that good. And then at the end of the day, when you get older, you realize, wait, hold on, cut. It wasn't worth it. And you learn and you become wise. I wanted to know what my problem was. I knew that person had the problem, meaning my ex girlfriend or what have you. I knew she had the problem, but I also had to realize I have a problem too. And I got to figure this out. So I did the work. I started picking up books like Stop Walking on Eggshells, some other psychology books and whatnot. And I saw myself in that situation, that I was codependent. I was making excuses for the young lady. So I did everything I could to stay in a dysfunctional relationship, thinking, oh, A, I could probably fix the person. B, that person would change. Didn't happen. So I learned the hard way. And that creates wisdom, but I know there's an easier route. So, guys, this is Mike Chevalier, keeping it simple and precise.